This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Very Hard to Submit. Go to vhtsny.com and check out their kimonos, compression gear, and apparel. This is a brand we are excited to be supported by. Their gear is high quality with a clean design. Go to vhtsny.com and see for yourself.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Grappler Union podcast. Javier Palomo alongside Anthony Zito. Our guest today is Tim the Spartan Martin. Tim is a brown belt under Thiago Veiga and is currently the head instructor at Charter Fitness Mundelein. Enjoy.
I need the 6 minutes. That's what happens in that 6 minutes.
You told me, using any technique that works, never to limit myself to one style. Keep an open mind.
We're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
In order to become more peaceful, in order for you to become better and strategize your life.
This thing.
Yeah, we're live. Are we actually live?
We're actually live now, yeah.
Live.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So a whole lot just going on this weekend for me personally in terms of degree of busyness.
Yeah. Are you really busy? Wow.
Just a
When are
little
you
busy.
not busy?
Just this week?
Just this week. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, I had to go see Avengers, so there's that. And then got Game of Thrones tonight, so there's that.
I have not seen any of the episodes, so
of
stop
Game
there.
of Game of Thrones or the
not
Avengers?
this season.
Oh,
not this season.
Oh.
The Avengers, we were going to go see it last night, but it was sold out everywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was.
Everywhere.
It was.
Crazy.
So
Well, that's we don't have to talk about any of those things.
yeah, we can avoid those subjects for spoilers.
Maybe we could talk about jiu-jitsu and the
it's
UFC. Did
unacceptable.
anyone watch the UFC?
No.
Just me.
Wait, there was a UFC?
I guess I was the only watching it.
I was busy at the Avengers, which is why I didn't
Okay.
see anything last
That
night.
makes sense.
I did briefly scan through fight to win results.
Okay.
And then watch a couple of key matches.
Did you watch Vives's match?
Yeah, went to distance.
Yeah, and so he was showing me the video at Newbury today, and I was like, "Wait, you lost this match?"
Yeah.
He
It's-
lost, huh?
It's ridiculous that he lost.
How so?
I mean, I would vote that he won the match.
Okay. So it was
Based-
close.
It wasn't that close at all. I don't think it was close. I don't know
What's
what
that
the fuck
smart
that
guy?
was.
I would like to go back with it because I scanned through it.
Yeah.
I would like to go back with a notepad, counting score with two different scoring systems in mind, and see if he loses on either of them.
On either of them, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the answer is no.
Right.
But until I do that, I can't be fair.
Who did they put him up against?
I don't even know.
I do know, but I can't think of it right now.
Was he
Google
a,
knows the answer to that, but we're not gonna pull out the phone this time.
Was he a hometown guy?
I would assume so. It was in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So I would assume he's some type of hometown.
I believe. Yeah, I believe they flew in.
The judge that was on the mat gave it to Vives.
Okay.
The two that were off the mat
Didn't.
didn't. And then if you go back and watch on Flow the result, and you look at the judge's face, and he looks at the other two judges like
they're freaking
what
crazy.
The fuck were you looking at? Like, that's the
always
best
good.
part.
That's always
That's the
good.
best part of that match.
I definitely didn't
It's like-
notice that. Like I turned it off like the
Mark
second
was
I saw
like,
the
dude, look at
flag.
his face. I'm like, yeah, okay. He's like, what happened? What'd I
I'll
do?
definitely go and look at that just to see.
It's funny.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, but he's a professional. He's like, what are you gonna do?
Take
It's
it
the
as
way
it is.
Yep.
Right.
On the next.
Yeah, and speaking of the next, we got Fight to Win Chicago coming up just next week.
I
Just
know.
next week.
Yeah, I'm super excited because I believe I've bitched about this extensively before. It's on a Saturday,
That's
which
good.
means I don't have to work, which means I don't have to leave in the middle of a black belt match that I was deeply anticipating seeing.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to stay for the whole event.
So why couldn't you last time?
Because I
before?
work Friday nights, and it's usually on a Friday
Okay.
night. So yeah, I feel so bad because I really wanted to see Joey Deal and PJ fight, and I looked at my watch. I'm like, if I don't leave now, I'm not making it to work on time. So yeah, tore ass out of there as they were walking in.
Well, it's kind of silly to have it in Chicago on a Friday night at
very
five
silly.
at 5
Very
o'clock.
silly,
Like
yeah.
who's making that event?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So almost a significant portion of people are going to show up after the event begins. That's just the way it's
for
going to be.
sure,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah.
But on Saturday, it's gonna be a lot easier with traffic.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
It's at the Odeum again.
Yes,
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 sir.
it is. And same start time and everything. It's
Same
just
start
yeah.
time.
I don't work Saturday after or evening. Most people don't work Saturday during the day. They're
surely
off
don't.
by that time. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you do and you don't.
I do and I don't.
You do the fun work.
The only thing I'm
Yeah.
upset about with the Odeum is that they changed the pretzels there. I'm really
You and
upset
those
about
damn
that.
Oh, the pretzels, huh?
I don't give a shit about
pretzels.
your pretzels. I'm on a
What
diet
the
still.
fuck?
Why
I
are you on
can't
a
believe
diet?
that.
I'm always on a diet.
Always.
That's his thing.
Yeah, because
He's on a diet to fight someone at some time. I don't know when that's
On
going to be.
wait, what?
I'm calling you out, Javi, a little bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Can you fight someone, please?
I'm always.
Soon?
I just
I
got
ask him
finished.
that question all
you?
the time.
Yes.
Yeah, and he always gives me the same answer.
That's how you
But
know
you
it's true.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make it any easier to swallow.
No. Eventually, I will do a fight to win.
Please.
Probably not here in Chicago if
Do
I
it
can
somewhere.
arrange for it.
That's fine.
God,
Do it everywhere
just to
else.
shut y'all
Everywhere
up.
else. Yes,
Everywhere
please.
else.
Yeah, there you go.
You could be one of the guys they fly out.
Yes, be that guy.
I'll talk to Seth about that. I'm like, hey, even though I have no name value on an international level, would you please fly me out everywhere you go, especially the Hawaii card?
Well, in my experience watching you and seeing how quickly you fly through people twice your size, I think it won't take very long to.
I mean, it doesn't
build a
always work
name.
like that.
It doesn't always work like that, but damn, it's pretty
very
close.
entertaining. It's very Javi. You're very entertaining. And I think Seth would see that also. I don't see why. I don't see why
agree.
you wouldn't be able to fly you out. I don't
I
see
agree.
why.
Well-
you're actually a very high level.
At some point, I will try to do one where it is not on Seth to fly me out, where I just happen to be in Houston or Denver
Sure.
or something like
Yeah.
that when they're doing a card conveniently. And if it's good for them and it's a good fit, then we'll talk.
Sounds good.
So,
Sounds good.
but
But did you sign up? Is your name in there?
well, I don't want to put my name in the pool and then get matches
Well,
and constantly have to say no.
Well, I think you can still sign up,
Right.
like
No,
just
I-
so they have your credentials.
I
and
can
all
get-
that
I
stuff.
can get them the
Decline
information ahead of
matches
time.
as
and
they
then just
come through.
decline to say
Yeah,
no.
just no,
sorry.
no. I like that person.
I know that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to, be injured or injure him in front of his family.
Oh man, so we had our little guy open mat today.
That was
I
a
heard
great
about
time.
that.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
You sir are too giant to
You're
be
too
at
big.
the.
I'm not that big.
You're a ginormous human being.
I'm
You would
about
be-
177 right now.
You are 15 pounds over the weight limit, sir. Also, you're too tall. I would feel extra midgety around you.
Yeah, but you beat the crap out of me.
Don't tell people that. You got Fight to Win coming up. I'm supposed to be building you up here, sir.
I'm
That's-
not afraid to admit that.
Oh man, but yeah, it was a good time today. I like New Breed. It's a good place, good facility.
Yeah. Under a new affiliation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they switched. Didn't you see the big sign? You're in the picture. The giant sign
look
behind
confused.
you.
I'm so confused. This is how much I pay attention.
Wow.
Let's see. Can I see this
all-
picture? What's the new affiliation?
TAC Team, which is Jared Weiner, I think.
TAC BJJ,
TAC, TAC.
TAC.
Team.
Oh yeah, TAC Team BJJ. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought
I did
thought
not know.
it was known.
I did not know that, but now I do. Now I've been informed. Thank you.
You have been informed. But yeah, always a good time. Where you and I got to talk and see if we can arrange to have one,
What's that?
an open mat for little people.
An
You're not
open mat for
invited.
little people?
Yeah.
We could host it in Mundelein.
That's what I'm talking about. That's actually one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on. So Tim,
It's a good segue.
yeah. Look at that, like professional level. Although not so much when you draw attention to it after the fact. So Tim is one of my brown belt training partners, and man, you're almost actually now at this point you're at more LCCTs than I am.
Yeah.
So where all do you train?
I train in Barrington at Thiago Veiga's gym,
Right,
LCCT
right.
Barrington. I did train in Kenosha at Ben Rothwell's gym, which is also an LCCT affiliate. And now
Ben Rothwell, UFC fighter. Ben Rothwell?
Big Ben Rothwell, yes.
Big Ben
yes.
Rothwell.
But now I work with him and Thiago and Charter Fitness of the Chicagoland area in Mundelein, where I'm head instructor at our new satellite gym, I guess you could
nice.
call it.
Yeah.
So, for those that aren't aware, I was not, in fact, personally aware when we first started talking about this. There's charter fitnesses all over the place.
All over the place.
I thought they were, no offense to Charter Fitness, I thought they were much smaller, like as an organization than they actually are. There's one in Carroll Stream, not too far from my house.
Yeah.
There's several in the greater Chicagoland area. There's the one in Kenosha, of course.
I think they have like 40 or 50 locations.
Yeah. So are we putting in jiu-jitsu in all those locations?
Ones that are big enough.
Right.
Not all of them are big enough.
Right.
So right now the idea is we start where we are in Mundelein at Charter Fitness. We build. We see, how fast we can build it up.
Right.
Typically it takes a little bit, especially with a jiu-jitsu gym. But we're going to start there and then possibly move to the Crystal Lake area.
Okay.
And then work from there.
How does it work? Did they approach you or did you approach them? Or
so what happened is, I guess they were just trying to dig into a different demographic.
Okay.
And they have a location in Kenosha, which I do believe they're shutting down and just pushing everything into Illinois. And they came to Ben Rothwell. They came to his gym, asked, hey, we want MMA, we want jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, what you have to offer. Are you willing to go in with us? Apparently he said yeah. And the first thing they thought to introduce was jiu-jitsu. And he said the first person that came to his mind was me.
Okay.
So
high praise.
High praise.
Yeah.
Probably because anytime Thiago was there, I was there with him. And whenever Thiago wasn't there, I was there teaching. And even when he was there, I was helping him teach. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I did there was teach. So he got to see a pretty good side. And I think I'm pretty good at teaching. So
No, I would 100% agree. And, I'm going to say this. I'm an all right teacher. Okay. I've got a lot of experience with it. But my main focus in the grand scheme of things has almost always been like teenagers and older. Like, I've seen you work with kids, and man, I need to take lessons from you on how to deal with kids classes. You're way better at it than I am. Because I teach kids classes, but not anywhere near as well as Tim does.
no offense to
take.
a lot of our other LCCT kids coaches, but I think a lot of them need to take a class from you. Because, I can walk in and see a room of children misbehaving, and if they've had a few classes with me, as soon as they see me walk in, the atmosphere changes.
I agree with this.
Completely.
What do you do differently?
I don't. To be honest, I don't.
I think when I'm not there, he's beating them. Like barbed wire and.
I just have a way of instilling a certain type of maybe fear or respect, without too much consequence of, I don't know, being reprimanded or.
Yeah, I don't see you like yell at the kids per se or anything like that. Like occasionally I feel that, especially if they're being particularly unruly, I have to use my dad voice a bit. But like he has a presence.
Command. I call it a command presence.
It's good.
And one of the biggest things, probably the only thing that I ever threaten a kid with is, if you do this again, you have 10 minutes out. And if you do it again after that, you're out of my class. Whether it's for today, for a week, for a month, depending on what it is you do. Typically, after that, nobody misbehaves.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, kids classes that's a tough one.
They're tough. They're tough. And I'll be honest, before Mundelein, anytime I've done a kids class, it's always been with kids that already knew a little bit of jiu-jitsu.
That helps.
It helps a lot. But now I'm dealing with kids, fresh start, 5 years old to 10 years old, usually more on the younger end, and they know nothing. So it's really, really hard to figure out where to start and where to go.
Yeah.
So far, so good, though.
Right.
I mean,
So is Charter doing all the advertising, and do you have to sign up with Charter to do the jiu-jitsu, or can you do is it kind of like a la carte?
you can sign up for the jiu-jitsu. If you sign up for Charter, you don't get the jiu-jitsu. But if you sign up for jiu-jitsu, you do get free access to the gym.
Well, that sounds like the way to go. Okay. Congratulations, sir.
It sounds confusing. It sounds confusing, but they have a whole thing laid out. And right now they're kind of going through the process of revamping prices, because at first I think they went out of the gates a little too heavy, because right now we're only offering 3 days a week.
Okay.
It's only 3 days a week. They're new to this. They're not ready to just jump right into it 100%, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Not like me. I'm willing to be there all day, every day. But yeah, I mean, the prices right now I think are pretty decent for for what we offer. Give me a second here.
Well, I mean, like, you don't have to quote the prices or anything like that. Is it available online or whatnot, or do people have to usually come in for it?
Typically, they have to come in for it.
Okay.
Come in or call.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's the way
like
most people work it.
Yeah. And like I said, right now, the only one we have it in is in Mundelein.
And what days are there?
Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 to 6:30 is the kids class. 6:30 to 7:30 is adults. Mixed levels right now because we're getting a lot of beginners.
Right, fresh start.
And of course, some people from our other schools are coming in to help out, to train, get a little extra time on the mat. And typically, after 7:30, between 7:30 and 8, we'll do like an open mat.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on Saturdays, it's 8 to 9 a.m. adults. Yes.
Go ahead.
And then
Just wanted to
9 to
point.
10 is kids.
So just to clarify, because I know this is run into an issue before. When you say open mat, you mean free training with people that are members there and other LCCT affiliates, or is it open to like general public can come in, other jiu-jitsu guys?
Okay,
from other
so
gyms?
I'm glad you asked that because I probably should clarify.
Right.
When I say open mat, it's more whoever's there. It's going to be an open roll.
Free
and you
training.
could either roll or drill what we drilled, or if you have questions, you can ask me or drill whatever you want.
Right. Just
So thanks, Javi.
No, well, we've had that unfortunate thing. Like our coaches at LCCT tend to use the term open mat to mean like, hey, you can come in. The gym is open and you can work on stuff that you want to work on. But you say open mat, and other people are like, oh, cool, I'll be there too. And it's like that's not what they meant. It's not an open mat. It's a shit. We need two terms for this. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I wanted to clarify.
Yeah. So how much space do you have there at Charter?
Oh gosh,
Lots.
it's pretty big.
Yeah.
How big is Thiago's gym? Do you know?
Oh man,
the square footage?
I'm horrible with square footage. I just
So am I.
I just
I
measure
knew this
things.
question was going to come up
Yeah,
too.
I like to measure things in
If you had
terms of.
IBJJF like rings, how many rings would fit there?
Probably 1.5, maybe 1 3/4.
So about 1,000 square feet then.
It's pretty big. Like Thiago's, if you put it next to Thiago's,
I was going to say it's wider
prob-
though, isn't it?
It's a square.
Yeah.
It's a square.
So, man, like Barrington is similar dimensions to like 10th Planet Chicago, where it's longer. and not as wide of mats. I don't actually know who has more mat space between those two because again, I'm really bad with that kind of stuff. I measure mat space based on at what point I get angry at people for showing up because they're in the way for my rolls. So, like, I'm like, oh, we can very clearly have like 8 groups comfortably rolling on this versus like that little gym over there where we can have 4, So, yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, we can fit quite a few more people on our mats in Mundelein than we can in Barrington. Okay. So that's good.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah, that's good.
And if anybody wants to show up and train, man, I'm more than welcome to. So, and I mean, just going back to that open mat scenario that we were just talking about, come in. If you want to take a free class, first class is free.
Do you do free?
Yes.
Good.
First class is free. Come in, try it out, see if you like it, see if you like me, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, now you've limited your options if they have to also like you.
You don't have to like me. You can deal with me.
So they can have like blatant contempt for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Nose up.
Now I feel welcome.
Who are you? Because you have a fight to win fight coming up. Who are you fighting?
Derek Mallard.
From
He's
Roll.
from Roll Academy.
Yeah, we
Academy?
just
Okay.
had them on.
Oh, wow,
we didn't even
fantastic.
know ahead of time. We could have hyped up Derek during when they were coming in, and we failed. We failed. What? I don't even know if that match was set at the time. I don't think it
Probably
was.
not.
Yeah,
No.
that was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it wasn't set yet.
Yeah.
But 175, brown belt. Should be a good show.
In the gi?
In the gi.
Beautiful.
Javi's favorite. Shaking his head.
The gi.
That's what you were.
Hey, I did an open mat today, and it was 50% gi, 50% no gi. Look
Yeah.
at that. So
It was.
I do really try to keep it balanced.
I gave up in no gi against Javi. I literally was like, okay, I can't roll with you anymore.
You
just
gave
can't
up?
I was
even.
just like, forget this.
Was it his terrible leg lock game?
It was his. Everything is so bad on him. It's like I'm just like, dude, you're just wasting my time. Just stop submitting me. Just get away, please. Stop holding me where I can't move. Just okay.
I don't even know what was up with that. Like,
How about that guard of his? So hard.
He wouldn't know. He didn't spend any time.
Didn't spend any time with that
No,
guy.
that's not true. To be fair,
I did,
To
yeah.
be fair, he worked an attack on me where I gave up the sweep rather than having to get submitted, and then I put him in my guard and triangled him.
Yes.
Oh,
So
makes sense.
Yeah. Made sense.
A logical path.
Javi grabbed my wrist. Okay. Just held it down on the mat, and my hand was like out like this, you know? And I'm like, I can't get my hand back. Like I literally cannot get and then he's moving while he's holding my hand straight out and just putting all his pressure on my hand where I'm like, okay, now he's moving around me. I usually, people would let off. Like, okay, all right, give my hand back. He didn't give him my hand back at all.
Is he the one that called you a chimp?
no, that was somebody else. That was Benny from New Breed, I think, said that to me.
It's so ridiculous. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing to my wrist? Why are you holding me so? He's like, and they explained it to me, but it's fucking ridiculous.
So strong for a little man.
So ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't think I'm that strong, but like, it's actually, to be fair, I very rarely have training partners my size, so it's really, really difficult for me to judge whether I'm strong or not.
Right,
most people are actually quite a bit bigger than
Fair
me.
enough.
But like that was one thing I did it to everyone that if I got your back today at the open mat, I kind of like almost giddy. Because I'm like, I can body triangle people here.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's like I can't do that with most normal people because my legs are so short.
Right.
But like
They're
almost
pretty
everyone
small.
here is small enough, thin enough that I can body triangle them. So I tried to body triangle everyone today.
Asshole.
What?
Getting all that body triangle aggression
Yeah,
out.
I got, like, hey, this is my one my one chance when I'm not in the kids class.
It was good. It was fun. I like these open mats.
Yeah, how often do you guys do them?
This is what's our third one now?
Yeah,
Every
like,
few months, I think.
Once every month or two is like kind of the schedule. Like May is looking really busy, I think, for a lot of people. Like we got the IBJJF, we got Wanderlust, we
Fight
got
to Win.
Fight to Win. There's all this stuff going on.
Do one in
so
June.
yeah,
Maybe
so I'm
June.
not sure if we'll get one in May, but I'd love to.
Late June might be good.
Yeah, I'd
I'll
love
try
to
to
put one on in
drop
June.
weight before then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Check
you're
it out.
gonna make the limit? Yeah. Okay, Skeletor.
What is it, 150?
155.
155 and under.
Ooh, I could do it.
I'll allow you to weigh in with no gi on.
Okay.
Even if you're gonna wear the gi, but yeah, that 155 is the limit, sir. Yeah,
it was
we have our standards.
There's no way I could make that, unfortunately.
Thank God. Yeah, you'd be towering over everyone. It would look like Frodo and the rest of the friggin' halflings with like Boromir.
I have no idea what you just said. It just
Well,
sounded
the
like
rest of the
gibberish.
world does. Okay.
I don't know about that.
They're all yelling at you right now.
Probably are,
You
like,
idiot.
Fucking Zito, he doesn't know shit.
Don't worry. I'm right there with you.
Okay, good.
I pretended to know.
Y'all are awful. This isn't even.
I knew the first name.
This
that he
isn't even
mentioned.
obscure pop culture. Like this is pop culture now. Where were you? In a cave? Like when the Lord of the Rings came out in theaters? You remember that was a big thing?
I
Like,
watched them, but
but you can't remember
I
names.
can't remember anything from them.
So this is an embarrassing truism. Okay. I remember the name of movie and comic book and novel characters way easier than I do remember the names of actual people I've known for years. If I'm not friends with you on Facebook, but I've known you for years, there's a really good chance that I don't actually know your name and I'm faking it the whole time.
I'm just as bad.
Yeah. Even worse, if I am friends with you on Facebook and you don't use your real name on Facebook, I don't know your real name.
That's their fault.
Yeah. I have some friends that I only really know them by their Facebook name, and sometimes I'm consciously aware of the fact that that's not their real name and don't care, and other times I just have no idea.
Right.
Somebody will point it out to me. Like we were talking about with Thomas and not Ray, but to me he's always going to be Ray Whipple now,
Right.
because that's his Facebook name.
Yeah, it is funny. Oh, I'm so tired of social media, though. Fucking tired.
It gets old.
So ridiculous.
It gets real old. It kills me because when Fight to Win comes around, I actually have to be active on social media.
This is like
Do you, though? Do you?
I mean, if I want to draw people in for my sake, yes.
yeah,
I
like
guess. But it's not your full-time thing.
No.
also,
No.
it's beneficial to be active on social media in general for something like Fight to Win, because they're definitely gonna look at that. Like, if you get on the card, you sell no tickets. You have maybe not great performance, Seth's going to look at that and be like, he didn't build any hype, he didn't sell any tickets, and it wasn't a great performance. We're not having him back. But if you hyped up the show, you put asses in seats, even if you have maybe a not so great performance, they're probably still going to look at that and be like, this guy
sells tickets.
That guy at least sold some tickets. Like let's bring that guy back again. Let's give him another chance. So, obviously, if you're a showstopper, as Tim Martin's going to be, then maybe that matters a little less. But
yeah, I'm just not a. I don't know if I'm a fan of that model. That's all. Personally, of that business, I'm not a fan of that business model.
Of using social media to promote things?
No, of like
okay.
Of like having to like sell tickets and do that. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that.
I mean, that's a part of it. Like Conor McGregor does that.
I guess he does that.
No, he definitely does that. Like maybe not quite as direct. Like I've never actually walked down the street and Conor McGregor been like, hey
man,
want some UFC tickets?
I'm scalping $100 a piece.
Yeah, I mean they're not physically selling tickets,
right?
But
100%.
But he's talking a bunch of shit.
His job is to sell the fight.
Just a different medium. That's all. I mean, they're doing it differently. I don't know.
Oh no. Again, don't mistake nothing. Like Dana White for sure knows exactly how many followers Khabib Nurmagomedov has. And he knows how much of a boost in followers he got, unfortunately. But after the bus
fight.
incident, after the cage jump, and he's looking at that for sure. He's like, dude.
Are they now? I don't think they're looking at that anymore.
I know for a fact they are.
I don't think they are.
I have been told that they are.
I thought
you got people on the inside?
Well, I thought now
we have people on the inside, yes.
I thought now with the pay-per-view buys being...
They're still concerned about the way it advertises the product. Whether the fighters see a penny of the revenue or not is another discussion entirely. Yeah, but for sure they want in the ideal world every fighter on the roster would have really good social media credit, millions of followers, whatever.
And that's kind of why it's good for us to start advertising when we're on Fight to Win, because we do get a little kickback from that.
Right, and above and beyond that, like somebody goes to the show. I don't know how often this works out. This is the theory, though. I mean, somebody goes to the show, sees a guy put on just a banging performance, and goes, I want to train where that guy is.
Yeah.
That for sure can happen. Again, I don't know how often it happens because frankly, a lot of the guys at the show already train somewhere. It's unlikely you're going to be like, ooh, the way that guy moved up on the stage there, I'm quitting my current gym.
I just feel like the majority of people you're selling tickets to is your family and your friends who probably are not going to join jiu-jitsu gyms.
That's a good point. That's a pretty good
my
point.
like sisters or whoever, you know what I mean? It's just like, what are they going to do? They're just going to come there and watch my match and leave.
That's a good point.
So,
I think
I don't really know.
another chunk of that group would be people that you train with and see all the time anyway. So hard tickets are
exactly.
there.
I think the majority of the people that are already trained. So
how does Newbury do it with like 30 people on their car? Like all those guys got to what
They'll
do
get
they
like
do there?
$1 each.
They're like, okay, I'm going to pick you, you pick him, he picks him, and everyone gets like an even amount between all.
I mean, that's kind of what we do at LCCT, where we try to even it out a little bit between.
So that's why I think
the guys.
that model. I don't know. I just think
Just being a negative Nancy.
No, I'm not being negative. I don't know.
All right, you come up with a better way, and we'll get in touch with Seth, and we'll make sure it
come up
happens.
with a better way. I'm just not.
You just hate
100%
social media.
I just not.
He hates it.
Just despise.
Look at the look in his eyes.
So tired of it. So tired of it.
Yeah,
But
he lost interest in social media the day that Rafa Mendes posted a picture of his kids.
that was it.
Yeah,
Was it?
He's just
Come on,
like,
Rafa.
dude, I'm just here for the jiu-jitsu.
Just show me awesome. Do you see his jiu-jitsu?
We've talked
is
about this.
so fucking crazy.
It looks good to
It is good. It is good.
Yeah. But to the average eye, it looks miraculous.
Yes.
To the trained eye,
Here's the thing.
That's the whole thing. If they're like, I'm not there obviously watching him roll, but if he's freestyling all that while the guy's filming, it's pretty awesome.
it's pretty cool.
Okay, so
But if they're like, okay, let's take 2, take 3, take 4. If they're taking takes on doing this stuff, he's like, okay, let me just work this out a little bit more. Then I'd be like, okay, fuck that. But it looks pretty legit.
okay, so 3 things.
Plus, he's legit as fuck.
3 things. One, obviously, he's really fuck all good, and I'm not trying to say in any way, shape, or form that he's not.
I agree.
Let's step the first. Okay, but I think what they're doing, based on the way, because I've talked to some people that have trained there before, they're just camera roll, and they're going to keep it on Hoffa or Gui when he's doing his thing as well.
Right.
But they're going to keep it on Hoffa during his roles and whatnot. And obviously, if something looks like total shit, that is not making it into the highlight reel. Sure. I mean, it is absolutely cut together footage. The other thing, and like, I want to know, like, we should put up a poll and find out. We can use my name and everything. I want to know if I decide to start recording all my roles and I'm freestyling on a bunch of white and blue belts, if people are going to be like, well, yeah, of course he looks good because he's fucking going with guys that aren't any good. Or if people are like, oh, he's amazing. Because not every time, but a lot of those clips are him freestyling on guys that are like blue belts and purple belts. And he's like a multi-time black belt world champion.
True.
Fair enough.
So yeah, of course he's going to look like a freaking god. It's a highlight reel cut together with him rolling with his students that he's, totally going to obliterate.
Yeah, I mean, I do some pretty crazy shit on the lower belts too. I bet it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, like if you had a buddy follow you around with a camera and then we made a highlight reel about it, I'm pretty sure you'd be rocking. Seth would really appreciate that on social media.
Agree, but I still love it. It's still awesome.
Yeah, no,
until he posts pictures of his kids.
Then forget
right,
it.
fuck
I'm
that
out.
guy.
I'm out. I don't want to see.
I can't believe
I don't
how-
want to see the kids. I don't
how-
want to see the house. I don't need to see any of that stuff. No, just show me jujitsu. Just show me the jujitsu.
I can't believe how offended you are by this.
Offended, 100%. Yes, you
It's like
offend me.
betrayed over here.
I do. Anyway, the UFC. What I want to talk. I just want to talk about one fight on the UFC. I know you guys didn't watch it, but hopefully you will go watch it.
I was going to say, is this one that I should go back and watch? Because I oftentimes do.
This one in particular is the Greg Hardy, that is he an NFL player at one time?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So he had a fight against.
He's not any good, is he? Right?
Oh God, no.
That's
He's
what I
a
thought.
hit hard type of guy.
Okay, yeah.
So they put him against some Russian guy who never heard of him ever,
Okay.
and it was almost like it looked fixed.
Oh.
It looked fixed. It looked like
Did Greg Hardy win?
he won.
miraculous.
Shocking. It's shock. I'm like, this is so fucking ridiculous. What the fuck are we watching? Like
The WWEification
it looked
continues.
like a WWE match because
I'm going to have to look this up.
you
and
have to
see-
watch
yeah.
it. It's only one round. He beats him how he beats. It's like, wait, you stopped it for what?
How recent was this?
It's last night.
Oh, last night.
Yeah, it was last night.
Oh,
So
For the re- I was kidding when I said I didn't even know there was I totally knew there was a UFC
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I got the little notification on the app and everything.
yeah.
I didn't know. I was not kidding when I said that.
Right.
But it was, that was very I was just like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, I know getting some matchups and having some guys, work their way up, I get it. But the guy they put him against, like, I didn't even understand. Like, he wasn't even going to try to hit him. It was like he was just waiting for the Hardy to hit him so he could lay down. I'm like, is this fucking for real? Like, he just kept flinching and, like, I was like, this looks so fake. It looked so fake. The finish looked fake. Everything
This
looked
is-
fake. And then Greg Hardy jumps up like he just beat, Cain Velasquez, comes up on, he's, beating his chest off the top of the fucking ring. I'm just like, is this guy real after that performance? Really?
Yeah, don't say shit. I seen a blue belt do that. Do the terrorist shirt off, run around, pray to God.
No. Where? At an open mat?
No. It was at Masters World. But
Okay. Oh, man. That's so, yeah. So check that fight out. Greg Hardy. Yeah, not my favorite.
Was it a free fight or was it?
It was on
pay-per-view?
it was on ESPN. You have to
ESPN?
have the app.
Yeah,
I
the
guess.
ESPN
So
Plus.
I pay the $5.30 a month now, plus the $9.99 for UFC Fight Pass. Which do I even need that anymore?
I mean, it's still got the back catalog, but I don't know going forward how that's going to work. Like even Joe Rogan doesn't seem to know how that's going to work. So like I don't feel
Right.
bad that I don't know.
Right.
But
I mean, it still has things like EBI and Polaris.
That's true. It does. Yeah.
right, and like I said, it's got the massive back catalog of all the
I
old fights.
rarely
and-
ever go back.
I occasionally like to go and watch like a Pride fight or something
Yeah,
like
that's
that
nothing
from
wrong
back in the day, and be like, oh yeah, I remember this. Oh, this isn't good anymore. Oh, this is terrible. There've been a couple of those. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like nothing will make you appreciate how much MMA has advanced in say the last. Well, it advances a lot every couple of years, obviously, but like within the last 10 years. Like going back and seeing like early 2000s MMA. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. I'm like, man, I used to think this guy was like a god.
Right.
And now you look at who he could be up against these days.
Yeah,
and
like,
you're
nah.
nah.
I ain't naming names, but yeah. It's interesting. Nostalgia, rose-colored glasses, totally a thing. But when you're faced with the actual reality of it, and you haven't thought about it or watched it in a long time, and I'm not just beating up on pride here. I'm talking like any organization, pretty much. Even the guys that we thought that were ahead of their time are very behind the times at this point. So that's very much a evolve or die type sport.
Agreed.
Yeah, for sure. So what's happening out there on social media, Javi, since you're all plugged into it?
Oh yeah, I'm totally wired in to everything.
You're tapped in.
I don't know. I mean, like, we should talk more about Fight to Win. We've got so many friends of the show that are
a lot of people on there.
Well, that's the other thing.
Great.
Sorry to cut you off. Like, this is a huge show. Like above and beyond. Obviously, the majority of the talent is local talent, but above and beyond that, like, they're bringing in a whole bunch of ringers.
They're bringing some big names in.
Yeah. Like, what's up with that? I'm not even too comfortable with one of the big names, but
I hope.
Wait, which one aren't you?
I hope there's no breakout
what-
fights.
what?
yeah, that's what
You're
I'm
not
talking-
comfortable with a name? Who is it, huh? Come on.
Santos.
I wonder if he's listening.
Santos?
Yeah, Erbo Santos, huge fan of the podcast.
So you're not a fan of his?
I'm not a fan of his as a
Was it
as
after
a
that?
human being.
Is that the guy who ran off and started trying
He
to beat everyone
pretended
up?
he was injured,
Pretended he was
and
injured.
then
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
guy.
yeah. So let's establish this. First of all, from a sports psychology perspective, let's say, there's something wrong with that boy. Okay,
Clearly.
Like,
I mean, he did a soccer move, right? Where he
I don't
that's
think you called it
literally
that.
what it was.
that's what it was, right?
Yeah.
He
Like-
laid down and like, oh, my foot, my ankle, and then they stopped the match.
Right,
They're
right.
like, okay, let's address whatever happened here, and then
But this isn't even the first time.
No.
That's not even the most
That's what I heard,
recent.
right.
Really?
Okay, so I'm
That's
struggling.
not the
to-
most recent.
No, this gets really good. So I'm struggling to remember the first time I knew this was a problem. I think it was Tom Grant and I were talking about it. I believe he tapped in a black belt match in mount. Like, he got mounted, could not get out, seemed to panic attack, and then upon realizing that he had just tapped to mount, I believe faked a rib injury. If I'm remembering correctly.
Logical.
I'd have to go back and look at that one.
Are you going to try to book him for the podcast?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay, so we can ask him in person.
Yeah, and then of course, the most recent one was the fake knee, ankle injury, whatever. So he gets reaped. Okay, holds the knee if I remember correctly, goes down, and somebody on the opposing team like screams out in Portuguese, because this was down in Brazil. Screams out in Portuguese something along the lines of, come on, he's fucking faking again.
Right.
At which point he stands up, sprints into the crowd, and initiates a brawl.
Right.
Okay? So, like
Crazy.
yeah, I don't even think he addressed, like, I believe when he addressed social media on the issue, it was like, they insulted my honor, I had to defend myself. And like, I don't even think he addresses the fact that his knee was miraculously healed. Like, I'd almost rather see him be like, thanks to the glory of God, Jesus came down and healed my knee so that I could, like, no, like, not even an excuse. Like, he's like, yeah, I hurt my knee, but then I had to go fight. Okay. The most recent, I think it was, I want to say it was over in Abu Dhabi, not ADCC. What's the UAE Federation or whatever. Nikki Sullivan was just competing in it.
Yeah, was it? Wasn't Grand Slam?
Yeah, I can't remember, ACBJJ or whatever it is, maybe. Regardless, sorry, I've probably conflated two different events there because one's Russian and one's. Regardless, so he's competing in an event, and dude, this is, you can look up the video yourself if you've not seen this. Okay. Dude passes his guard. Camera zooms in very clearly. Guy taps to apparently nothing. Camera still zoomed in. And it's, unless he sat in a puddle, it's pretty clear that he pissed himself.
Oh, my God.
Okay. And I say that with, like, not in the moment, like he got like guard pass hard knee or something like that, knee on belly or anything. Like, no. He had pissed himself, it appeared. And then he was like, well, I've already pissed myself. I may as well tap out.
You realize you're going to be the one he jumps off the stage to come out.
Bring it, Earth. Okay.
He's going to be like,
That little guy.
that little guy.
This is to say nothing of the sex scandal thing, which I don't have all the details of, so I don't feel comfortable.
Wait, what's sex scandal?
Oh, you didn't know about that? Like, this is, again...
Bring it up.
I've heard about it, but
this is something that's easily Googleable, but...
Googleable?
Yeah. Why don't you Googleize that?
New word.
Is that a new word? All right, so we can Google that. What is this sex scandal?
As the story goes, he recorded himself having sex with, I believe, someone else, like probably a blue belt, some girl.
Allegedly.
Sorry, that was a bit of sarcasm there. I don't remember if she actually trained or not, but he recorded himself having sex with a girl, passed it around amongst 12 of his best friends at the academy.
Wow.
One of them spoke up about it / shared it with some other girl who, like, kind of took it public, like,
Oh, this is public. This is like legit.
Hold on, so word gets out.
I see.
And he then starts to threaten that girl. He's like, who told you about this? Because there's only so many people that know about it. I need to know which one of them betrayed my trust. And like it gets like violent threats.
Wow.
Phone calls and stuff like that. So yeah, they're.
But see him live on Fight to Win May 4th.
Yeah, maybe don't. Like, if I didn't have so many friends.
What the fuck?
If I didn't have so many friends on this card, his
boycott the card?
His inclusion would cause me to boycott this card.
Wow. That's
heavy.
That's serious.
That's really heavy.
Yeah, and
That's serious.
so I'm legit upset that he's going to be there.
Yeah. So I mean, in recent news with a lot of jiu-jitsu, I'm always an advocate for jiu-jitsu artists and people who train jiu-jitsu, but reality is people fucking suck, and there's some shitty people in all sports, and that's the same.
Allegedly.
There's shitty people in jiu-jitsu too, and it's unfortunate.
They're all
but
just people.
People are people. Yeah. There's good people and there's bad people. So
I've said this before, like not to be too Debbie Downer on the whole podcast and whatnot. There is an opportunity through jiu-jitsu for people to grow and change for the better. And there's also an opportunity for assholes to become really dangerous assholes.
right. Well said. Yes, I agree.
And Joe Rogan can say it as much as he wants till he's blue in the face that jiu-jitsu is a fantastic douchebag filter. And oftentimes it is.
Often.
But there are definitely exceptions. And, unfortunately, sometimes those exceptions come out very well known on social media.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I know that one guy from, was it Unity?
we're going to talk about the Tech Johnson thing.
Tex Johnson.
It's an unfortunate
So
story, but I don't even know where it's at, and right now I haven't heard anything more recent. Horrible.
Yeah.
As it is.
Terrible accusations. Tex has been kicked out of Unity. That's been confirmed.
Yes.
Okay, so 100% Tex is kicked out of Unity. Above and beyond that, in my mind, based on what I know, there's one or two possibilities. And I want to stress, I'm not in possession of all the facts. I'm not involved in the police.
Has he been arrested?
No, he has not been arrested, to my knowledge.
Not charged or anything yet?
He's also in New Mexico right now.
Okay.
Or was, last I recall. I believe he was checking into rehab in New Mexico.
Yeah, I heard that,
And
too.
then he's breaking bats on Instagram.
I bet you could do that.
I mean, I've done stuff like that before. So. Not on a Louisville Slugger, though, so I'd have to try it. Anyhow.
What bat did you do it with? Like one of those ones that give out the ball?
No,
bats?
not an actual bat. I've done it with like
Metal?
thin wood. I've done no.
It feels like you could.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I was gonna say a 2x4, but it wasn't actually a 2x4. It was like a
1x6?
cut. Well, no, it was like a
1x4?
cut 2x4. I don't have. We just established I don't know how big mats are, and I don't know how small the piece of 2x4 wood was, but it was like a 2x4. It was that thickness.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, like definitely a broom handle.
Okay.
Go get me a broom handle. I'll show you right now.
Okay. right, anyway, go back to Tex. So he's in New Mexico breaking bats in rehab.
Apparently.
But
so the accusation is that a girl has come out publicly saying that Tex raped her.
right.
Okay. Allegedly, this happened, I think she said, back in June or July. And she was emboldened to come forward because she had heard this is a girl he trains with. She was emboldened to come forward because she allegedly heard that it had similar had happened, like whether some other girl has been raped or whether there was just an incident or whatnot. So she's emboldened to come forward. She files a police case and everything. They're investigating it. I don't know what the timetable on any of this is. The whole situation in my mind boils down to one of two things. Okay. Either he done it because she's going to present evidence that proves it in a court of law that he did it, or she's batshit crazy and he's totally innocent.
Yeah, but why would he be going to rehab if he didn't do anything
Well,
wrong?
that could be unrelated though.
That could be,
he
but
could have a
it seems
substance
really
abuse problem.
coincidental.
Yeah, it's super shady, super coincidental, and also why would Unity kick him out in the process with the statement that there was an issue between two students? You know, they don't support. Yeah, like when they kicked him out, they didn't name names as to who had been kicked out. They just said, you know, there was an incident between two students, and one is no longer a part of the team. Yada yada yada. We don't.
I mean,
so
for sure, it's the right thing to do. I mean,
yeah, no. Like I would, something like that happens at any gym I'm at. I'm expecting a similar kind of distance to be created there, like for the well being of everyone involved. But yeah, like I said, like that's what it is, and now it's in the hands of the courts. Like I don't want to.
Police haven't. It's been a couple weeks now, right?
I truly like.
It was like early April.
I truly mean this. I have no idea how long this kind of thing is going to take.
I think it was like April 14th, 15th when the news was.
Yeah, I don't think it's that fast, man. Like,
oh really?
I really don't. Like, unfortunately, life is not an episode of of cop television, like,
right?
where we're going to solve it in an hour and a half or whatever.
First 48.
First 48. That was it.
Yeah, we could get some officers on that train jiu-jitsu and ask them how quickly cases wrap up with shit like that.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you're going to be depressed by how long.
Right. Yeah. It's
how long
pretty
shit
sad.
takes. You know, whether it be something like that or a murder investigation or whatnot.
But continuing down this card, we've got
Tex Johnson not on the card for the record.
That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah,
too.
are you? So Catherine Perrette,
Yes.
checkmate black belt female. That's a co-main event.
So that's interesting because Lake County BJJ, your neighbors,
Yeah.
are now checkpad affiliates.
They're checkmate affiliates. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And she's going against Luisa Montero.
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
Monteiro.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Atos.
Black belt.
Right. So nobody from around here on that one. Yeah, they're flying in two people on that one.
What are you talking about? The first three,
The big
ones are not from around here. Matt Layton, who's from around here, he's against Devontae Johnson.
right, and Devontae's from Jersey, New York. He's a Unity guy.
And Matt Layton's attack team.
Right. New breed.
Right.
I really like the Batista and Din's fight.
Batista and
Yeah, that's going to be
Matthias.
pretty exciting.
There's a guy I'd like to get on the podcast.
Who?
Denise.
Oh yeah, for sure. Why don't you hook it up?
Oh, sure. Yeah, no problem. Hey guys, if anyone knows him, just hit me up. We'll arrange for it.
Come to weigh-ins on Friday.
Yeah, come to weigh-ins.
Well, I work on Fridays, so
Skip work.
I work and also teach class.
Was that a cough I heard?
Coming down with the black lung.
Jeff Curran's on the card, 160 pound
Not flying in Jeff Curran. See, there you go.
black belt gi against Steve Kinnison. That looks like a good match. And some Resnovic guys. You got Asher on there. Nice. Beautiful. Mike Sim, Josh Bassini, Daniel Wanderlei. Wow. That's going to be a hell of a
That's going to be
match.
Josh's debut black belt match.
Debut black belt against Daniel Wanderlei.
That'll be interesting.
That's a fucking
Hoping
hell of
for
a
pure
pull.
fire.
That's a hell of a pull, man. Whew. Blake Glassman, Steve Patterson. That's another great.
That boy's good.
Fuck. TK Oates. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's a truly stacked card.
So many black belts.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah.
Then
Serafin's
got,
on it.
Got some brown belts, from LCCT.
Yes, sir.
Man, we got a lot
Few of us.
Yeah, we got a lot of guys on the card.
I think
honestly.
we only have one black belt. The other one's brown.
So Donnie
Yes, sir.
is getting a rematch for the belt.
Wait. He is?
Yes. The guy who's his opponent, they fought in Denver, and it was a very, very close decision.
He's brown belt, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
LC Donnie?
Donnie.
Why'd they call him-
Daniel Villanueva.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Daniel Donnie Blades.
Yeah, we all know him as Donnie.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so that's why when I looked,
You're
I
like,
said
"Ah,
Daniel.
I
I'm like, why did I
realized
say Daniel.
I realized by the confused look on your face.
Yeah, I was like Daniel. I'm like, am I not
I actually
reading
trained
right?
with him today.
Did you?
Yeah.
So what's this Masters brown belt welterweight title?
That's exactly what you've just said.
But why is it? They have Masters now.
They've divided it up where they have. Yeah.
Does anyone know how this all works yet?
I mean,
Are there-
I believe Seth knows.
Okay, but is there like
There's some
UFC
kind of-
has like these are the champions. These are the belt. Does the fight to win? I haven't been to their website. Maybe I should go before I talk. But is there something like that where it says, okay, well,
There's-
Donnie's the champion, or
As far as I know, there is a list of champions, and then what I'm not sure of is what the criteria is to challenge for a belt. So, there've been an increasing number of belts that have been handed out, and I'm not sure what one has to do to earn a shot at that belt. I don't think I know anyone who's gotten a fight to win a belt. A match for a belt that hasn't done at least 2 or 3 fight to wins, though. So I assume, like I said, I don't know what the exact criteria are. I assume there's some kind of something being
should there
kept
be a
track of.
roster of guys, and then you could look on the like UFC? Like
I was just on the Fight to Win
Well, first of all,
website.
the
And I didn't
UFC
see anything like
nothing
that.
like
The
no.
UFC rankings are pure bullshit. So,
I don't-
let's
okay.
not go there.
I don't
but-
disagree with you on that, but there is some type of like roster, right? So if there's a Masters brown belt 185, shouldn't there be a list of those guys and then the top guy at the top? Just common sense, right?
Yeah.
If you have these are all our guys, he's the champ. Everyone's got to work his way to get to that guy.
Right. Yeah.
Why is it like so?
Do
I don't
not
know
think
what the-
there's anything like that.
Nothing like that,
No,
right?
I think it's really arbitrary.
I think it's time for you to get a belt.
Yeah.
Okay, you're fighting for a belt.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works right
Yeah.
now. I could be wrong.
Right. Like I said, I don't think I recall anyone. Well,
Didn't Kyotera get a belt
yeah, I think so.
for what? He just won a belt.
Competing?
I mean, he's Kyotera.
He's Kyotera.
I mean, I'm-
just give him a fucking belt.
Hey, Kyle, want a belt? I'll give you the Grappler Union belt. It's right over there on Zito's wall. It's a repurposed Naga belt.
Right. But I mean, it just seems like let's just structure it. Let's just get a little structure to it. That's all.
But like I said, I mean, I think Kyle had several fights at that point already for the organization. Obviously they want to crown champions, and then once you have champions, build the hype of championship fights.
Since he's been champ, has he defended that?
That I do not know.
I don't think he
I
has.
truly do not know.
That's what's so weird.
Eddie Cummings
like,
has defended his title.
he did.
Yeah, that was recent. That match was terrible. That
that was bad.
That was an awful match.
They could take a structure like Bellator. Bellator, when they come into town, they invite people from local gyms to come in, but they still have a roster of professional fighters that are actually in their show, a part of their show everywhere they go.
Right.
So that'd be a good idea.
Just do something. Just
Yeah.
have some. I'm a
It
structure.
just seems
type of
too
guy.
arbitrary
you are.
otherwise.
Yeah, it just seems
Yeah,
exactly right.
Like I said, in my mind, I assume, could be wrong. I assume there's something to it because, like I know guys that have fought for the title, and it's not like they were like, "Oh, you're the hot shit. We'll just give you a title fight right off the bat." Like, no, they had to see you a couple of times. You had to win a few times, before we're going to consider any kind of title shot. So, like Donnie got a title shot at the last fight to win. He did after already being, was he 3-0 or whatever?
No, he lost.
Was it-
He's lost one.
Okay, so it was 2-1 or 3-1?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was 2-1,
Regardless.
3-1, something like
Yeah.
that.
So you had like a winning record, not
Yeah.
not a perfect record. Sorry. Then you got the title shot. The other guy won, and now they're running it back. That was in Denver, and this one's here in
He fought this guy already.
Yes.
This
Like
is
I
the guy
said,
he lost to
very,
for the title last
right.
time.
Very close contested match.
Has Donnie fought after that match?
No, this is
So they just back to back.
Yeah, this one's
So
back
he
to
hasn't
back.
worked his way back up. Like you know what I mean? Like, oh, you lost to the champ. Okay, go back down a few. No, he just gets.
But the champ only got the champ also just got that belt during that match.
I know. Yeah,
So
yeah.
just to establish.
Yeah, right. That's
So-
why it just doesn't. A lot of it doesn't make any sense to me.
You want to get Seth on and ask him what his system is?
I just like some structure. That's all. Come on, guys. Just give me that. That's all.
That's all you
Don't have
ask?
to talk about. Then I just say, oh, there's 50
Like I said-
guys in the brown belt.
Like I said,
Masters roster.
there may be some structure that's just not publicly, because again, I don't know anyone who's just like, hey, my first fight here, I'd like to go for a title shot. Like, no, everyone that I know that's gotten a title shot, I'm pretty sure has had multiple fight to win performances. So,
Yeah.
that's a factor as well. I think. I don't know. Maybe if Gordon Ryan decides he wants to do fight to win, they might give him a title shot right off the bat.
Probably.
But yeah.
You'd be asking too much money.
Yeah.
Well, there is that.
There is that.
I don't know. Nikki's done it. Cummings done it. I think Gary's done fight to win.
he's
Hasn't
done
he?
Fight to Win.
Yeah. So a bunch of the guys have. Am I talking out of my ass? Has Gordon done it?
I don't think Gordon has.
I don't
I'm
know.
gonna have to look
I'm
that
almost
up.
positive he hasn't.
Yeah, I'd have to look that up to be sure. I don't recall it, but that doesn't mean it hasn't happened.
Right.
Very true.
Regardless,
So what else happened in the BJJ world?
I don't know anymore. I've
Fuck, man.
lost track. We had so much negativity there that I've completely spiraled out of control.
Speaking of Nicky Ryan, you see that he's going up against Uriah Faber
Faber
and
at
Polaris.
Yeah.
There you go. There's a subject.
That'll be interesting, huh?
Yeah, I am very interested in that. Like, Dennis and I were talking about it the other day. Actually, like, I think Nicky is very easy to underestimate previously, but at this point where he's beaten multiple adult black belts, I don't think anyone's going to take him lightly anymore. Uriah's beaten some quality guys in submission only context before.
This is a no-gi, clearly.
Right. So yeah, I could go either way. I kind of favor Nicky. He's got a very slick game,
I don't disagree, but
I'm interested to see what Uriah can do. Like, can he just shut him down?
he probably could shut him down.
Can he guillotine Nicky Ryan? That'd be
I don't think that's
That was
gonna happen.
my question.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
interesting though.
It would be interesting. if he dives for it, he's going to get elevated, that's for sure. And he's going to get his fucking leg torn
Ripped off. Yeah.
Nicky knows more than legs, man. He's got really good back attacks.
I don't
He's
disagree,
got
but
good
I know
triangles.
if Uriah goes for that head and tries to roll on top, he's going to get elevated, and then things are going to get different.
Yeah.
But he's a good scrambler. Uriah Faber can fucking scramble like nobody.
Which is, like I think Nicky's a really good control guy. So, like, who's better at their respective art?
Right.
Like if you can establish something that just locks the guy down, not literally a lockdown, but locks the guy down, and he can't scramble, like suddenly that's a problem.
Right.
But you've got to be able to establish something.
But Nicky seems to be giving up a little bit of like muscle mass because
Well, I mean,
fucking thick.
he's definitely,
Huge, dude.
he's definitely giving up some muscle mass, but the kid's getting huge.
Is he?
Yeah, like he had a cut to make weight for 145.
He still seems
He's still. I mean,
scrawny. Not
he's
scrawny
still-
in a bad way, but he just seems very. He's not built yet.
he's definitely still a kid.
Yeah, he's still a child. Right.
I think he used to be chunky too.
Yeah, he
He
did.
used to be, yeah, he lost
Tom
some of that
DeBlass
baby-
and Gordon Ryan have
baby weight.
both teased him how he. Yeah, I can't remember exactly how DeBlass put it, but yeah, like called him like a pudgy bastard or something like that.
Well, Uriah Faber's thick, man. He
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
joke.
no, like. But again, Nicky's very technical. He's
Yeah.
handled
I'm sure
other guys.
It's gonna be a good. I'm excited
Yeah.
to see that one.
No,
what else is on that card?
Richie Martinez is on.
Oh,
there.
okay,
He's
good.
going against Miha. How do you pronounce his last
Yeah,
name?
no, I know who you're talking about. I'm not going to embarrass myself trying to say his name either.
He works with Keenan Cornelius a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And yoga for BJJ.
Yeah. Let's see who else. Is Craig on this one? I think Lachlan's on this one. I don't remember if Craig Jones has a match.
I don't think so.
Fuck Craig Jones.
100%.
Craig Jones.
I'm seriously considering that rash guard.
You should.
It doesn't have his face on it, but it does have his name on it. So I'm okay with having another man's name across my chest.
Yeah, yeah.
but not his face. So
Okay.
so I think I'm good with that one.
That,
I might actually grab it.
That Nick Rodriguez from the Blue Basement is on that card.
Oh God, that guy's a terror.
He's against Ash Amos.
I don't know who that is.
Neither do I.
Okay, I don't feel so bad. So yeah, Rodriguez is interesting. He just qualified for ADCC and like
Is that the guy the wrestler guy?
yeah, real good wrestler. You know,
He's like a white or blue belt or something like that.
He's been training for 9 months, I think. He's
Something
yeah,
crazy like
I
that.
believe they gave him a blue belt
They gave him a blue
pretty
belt?
rapidly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a blue belt. But yeah, if I remember correctly, he went to ADCC trials as a white belt and didn't, and then went to the second one, I think, and won it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
From what I hear, he doesn't have a lot of wrestling background either. Not very long, anyway. Like, for sure he's wrestled, but not very long.
I'm not sure about that. I've heard I'd have to look that up.
I thought I saw a post from Gordon that said something about nine months of jiu-jitsu and like maybe like a year or a year and a half of wrestling.
I'm not sure about that.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I thought he had a pretty extensive background in wrestling, but I could be thinking of another guy too. So, yeah.
We'll see how that
Regardless, he was an exciting.
Right.
He was exciting to watch. So hopefully he can keep that momentum.
Yeah.
You know, I'll definitely tune in for that guy. But
Yeah, so we have player. When's the next EBI? They announced that yet?
yeah, that's coming up real fast. It's another combat jiu-jitsu thing. So
Oh, it's combat jiu-jitsu, not
well,
EBI.
all EBI at this moment
Is all combat.
All men's EBI at least is switched over to combat jiu-jitsu.
So EBI is pretty much done. It's all combat jiu-jitsu worlds now, or combat jiu-jitsu, whatever they call it.
Yeah. I mean, essentially.
What do you think of that? You think that's a good choice?
I mean,
That's what Eddie always wanted. I mean,
Yeah.
when he talked about it, that's where he saw it. I think he had to do the EBI thing to get his foot in the door and kind of like prove that model, and then start introducing slowly the combat. Like, through, we had a 60-man tournament or 60-woman tournament,
Yeah.
and they threw a couple special matches where to combat, see what the
reaction was. Yeah.
and then do a whole thing. And now I think he's just trying to make it all which is cool, man. There's nothing wrong with combat jiu-jitsu.
I had to double check because I couldn't remember the date. It's Sunday, May 26th is Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds.
And what weight is that?
Bantams.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We're going to have Gio, Ben Eddy, John, former guest of the show, John Calistine, Chad George, Nick Honstein, and Hideo Takoro.
So all those guys are all doing combat.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
fucking awesome. Wow.
So we got, I think it's 4 current combat jiu-jitsu or EBI champions all on the same card.
Wow. That's going to be a good
Yeah.
card.
Well, hopefully. I mean,
When's John and when's Matt coming back out here?
we'll talk. Yeah, I mean,
I'd love to get him
definitely
back on.
definitely intend to get.
That guy is fucking awesome. Matt Kaplan, if you're listening, you're awesome.
I'll make sure he knows if he isn't listening already.
Of all the social media, I don't follow social media, but sometimes people send me posts, and they're normally of Matt Kaplan's. I'm just like, they're like, you gotta look at this. I'm like, okay, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's just tells it like it is, or like he sees it.
Did we want to talk about the most recent Matt Kaplan post?
Sure. I mean, it's out there. It's crazy. I mean, I like his response was, I can see that. I can get on board with that response. Go ahead, Javi.
Well, this one touches close to home.
Does it?
Yeah, obviously.
Go ahead.
So, first of all, even people that know seem to frequently forget. Okay, so let's put this out there, and I understand because I definitely don't look it in people's eyes, and I guess I don't act it very much, but I am ethnically speaking Jewish. Okay, my grandmother is Jewish. My mother is Jewish by blood. I'm Jewish by blood. That's how it works. Okay, I was raised in a partially Jewish household. Okay, so I grew up using bits of Yiddish, not realizing that other people may realize. Like it was just normal to say things like "oy vey," and I had no idea that other people subsequently knew I was Jewish just because I would say things like that.
Right.
I just thought it was, something that was. I thought it was normal.
Right.
Like little things like that. Regardless, so this particular bullshit really touches home. And Kaplan's Jewish Italian, like I am too. So Matt Paul at the had a fight at Fight to Win, and Matt Paul is one of my good friends, and I mean, I guess in a way, former teammates, because he's currently living in Denver and training out there. But you know, he's a part of 10th Planet Chicago. And Matt Paul had a title fight, and his opponent is a goddamn clown. And we want to talk about social media being a bad thing, and this was definitely, in my view, a situation where it was very bad. Because his opponent likes to, you know, post funny little photoshopped images and whatnot. And then, you know, his opponent, who I'm not going to name for the record, claims that all the photoshops that have always been done for him are done by some friend who I have no idea if that person exists or not.
Right.
Because it's the internet. But
we know it's not Aaron Brooks.
Yeah. So in an attempt to hype the fight, this opponent who is Jewish decides to, or I'm sorry, this opponent's friend decides to Photoshop a picture of the opponent dressed as a traditional Hasidic Jew instead of the normal unicorn and rubber chicken clown costume that he wears. And he photoshops Matt Paul into a Nazi officer's uniform.
Oh.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
And this gets posted on the internet, and it makes its way all over the place. It ends up on BJJ Eastern Europe. They eventually pulled it down. You know, I haven't actually spoken to Matt about it, so maybe.
Oh, you haven't?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
I thought you would've.
You know, he's busy, man. He's training
Yeah,
for a
yeah.
fight and whatnot. But you know, and he didn't publicly really talk about it very much. Matt, that is. So I don't really know what his feelings were, but for me, for someone to do that to someone who's my friend, who, I mean, like, dude's not even German. He just happens to be a white non-Jewish guy.
Right.
You know, like there's nothing there. Like, Matt Paul is just an awesome human being who just happens to be going up against a guy who's Jewish, and we're going to call him a Nazi?
Right.
Like, this is the worst. Like, this is taking social media in the wrong direction. This is, you know, this is not the way you promote a fight. And like, I could understand if somebody thoughtlessly did that and thought it was funny and didn't think through the consequences, and then as soon as someone complained, maybe go, oh shit, I fucked up, and take it down. Okay. But what actually happened is there were several, well, probably like 100+ likes and comments on this post, okay, up to and including the moron responding to those comments, okay? Like, somebody was like, you're awful, and he's like, yeah, we're the worst, smiley face.
What the?
Yeah. Because
First of
this,
all, people who comment on posts on Facebook, I'm sorry, I can't do it.
your opinion on social media doesn't matter.
Stop commenting.
There are
on-
some times where I
stop
start
commenting.
typing and I'm like,
Don't
erase,
do it.
just get out of here.
Don't be that person.
No.
But
Just get out.
regardless, and eventually he did pull it down.
Yeah.
When a someone else who is, you know, a fellow Jew basically commented to, you know, like, this is inappropriate. You know, like, you and I both know people back in Israel that wouldn't appreciate this. And then, you know, suddenly that vanished. But it was up for a while.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there's certain things I just won't joke around about, and that just happens to be one of them. You know, like,
Totally. I mean, it's horrible taste. I mean, it's just not. What's the point?
yeah, like,
What
I
are you
don't know.
trying to get at? Like, I don't even understand.
Shock value. That's
Yeah.
all.
It's bizarre.
Like, well, hold on. Like, I'm not even making excuses here, okay? Maybe there's some context that I can't think of, where that would work. Like I said, I can't think of it, but where that would be appropriate. Like maybe if the person was a known racist, you would make that comparison, and I'd be like, okay, that was too far, but at least I get it. Okay? But you're trying to promote a jiu-jitsu match, bro.
Right.
Like, what possible benefit could there be to that? This isn't the WWE.
Now, I don't know how old this gentleman is, but is it just because he's so far removed from that? It's been so long, and he's just so far removed. He's like a kid. Is he a child?
Man, I got family that fought in World War II.
Right.
Like,
but you know what I'm saying? Is this guy
young.
that ignorant? Is this like, I don't know, just something happened in the past I read in the history books, but I think it's funny now. What's his train of thought? It's bizarre to me.
Okay, sorry. Maybe I'd have to talk to somebody younger. I don't know any Jews in my life, in my family, that would casually joke around about that kind of stuff.
Of course not.
Okay? Like, there are some situations that people have joked around about. Don't get me wrong. Mel Brooks is famous for joking around about stuff like that. Okay? And when it's all comedy, that's a little bit of a different story. Right. But yeah, this could affect Matt Paul's livelihood.
Sure.
Like thank God it was actually a pretty good shop. Like isolated out, somebody could take that the wrong way, 100%.
Sure.
And that could affect his future as a fighter. That could affect his, the man has to work for a living. It's just like
it's definitely poor taste.
It was utterly thoughtless. It disgusted me. There's another individual that if he's ever on a fight to win card,
you want him?
No, I would not pay money to be.
I thought you were going to fight.
I thought that was a challenge.
I thought that was a challenge too. I was getting excited for a second there.
It's a bit bigger than me, but I'll take it.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Found his first opponent.
There we go. He's not in this state though. Another state.
No, he's from Cleveland. I'd almost be amused to see what the poster for the build-up would be.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's just So
there's that.
Yeah.
I've never seen you so upset about
You probably
something.
never have.
No.
I don't like the way that, and perhaps this is the younger generation. I don't like the way the younger generation throws around the term Nazi or fascist. And I didn't fight in the war or anything like that, but I had family that was affected by that directly. Like I said, my grandfather fought in World War II. We had family that were in, Russia and Europe and whatnot. Not direct family, no one I know personally. But yeah, like this is nothing to make light of. It's nothing to joke around about. I hate the way terms like Nazi and fascist are just sort of bandied about as like the insult. Right. So I don't know. Maybe I'm too old-fashioned in that regard. Maybe this is an appropriate response in today's present social media, but it definitely doesn't seem like it. And I've got no interest in that sort of bullshit in jiu-jitsu or any other grappling for that matter.
Or any other sport.
I mean, I don't watch other sports, so it doesn't affect me. But on principle, I agree. Yes. Yeah. If I were to find out they were doing that sort of thing in football, I would just shake my head. But there wouldn't be quite as much visceral reaction.
Okay. Oh man.
Yeah.
So on to other things now.
Yes, please. God, I need some positive spin here, sir. We've let this one just
The old man went on a rant.
He did. He did.
Been nothing but negativity about it.
I'm glad we wrote before
I'm just
this.
Sitting back.
God. Yeah, Tim, I'm so sorry. I didn't invite you here for this.
It's okay.
Let's talk about.
I like to listen more than I like to talk.
Tim, let's find out a little bit more about you as a person. So, jiu-jitsu wasn't your only martial art, right?
No,
you've got other.
No, I competed for a very short period of time in kickboxing.
American rules, Muay Thai.
American rules.
Okay.
Yeah. So how I got into jiu-jitsu, I actually, the whole cliche, I saw the first UFC,
sure, yeah.
Hoist Gracie.
We should go through and we should make a tally sheet of how many people say.
It's gotta be.
It's not everyone. We've got some younger generation that weren't around for it.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I was I was born in '88, so when that happened, I was probably what?
I hate you.
5?
God, 88.
5?
88?
Yeah, I just turned 31 on the 24th.
Yeah,
So
barely making Masters divisions.
So my first influence in any type of martial art was boxing.
Okay.
And it was my great-grandfather. Found out that he was actually a very avid, very good, multiple-time Golden Glove boxer.
Nice.
Our family would be a little more well-off right now if it wasn't for the fact that every time he won a Golden Glove, he would just go out to the bar and buy drinks for everybody, celebrate hard, and then start the grind over again the next day.
I've heard that story time and again.
Yeah, so I remember there were times where I'd put boxing gloves on. I'd be in the basement just boxing the cement walls, just pretending like I knew what I was doing. And then finally I got old enough where I actually did see the first UFCs. It wasn't when it was happening. It wasn't live.
Saw
but
them on video.
I saw it on video. I'm like, oh my God, that's really cool. That's more than boxing. I always felt like, because I was a fan of like the WWF when it was WWF, WCW before they combined and everything like that. So I would always wrestle my friends. What was that?
We've had recent conversations. How old were you when you were a fan of WWF? I'm sure he wants to ask.
Oh God,
I'm done.
From the time I could remember. So I don't know, 7, 8,
Right.
and it didn't last my whole life. I'm not still a fan, but back then, being a fan of that, I was really into wrestling. Whether I knew it was fake or not, you know, I'd have friends over, we'd wrestle. I remember being out in my grandma's front yard wrestling with friends. I had a lot of Hispanic people in the neighborhood, so we'd put on like the lucha libre
That's awesome.
masks and wrestle. And from that point on, I realized that I liked grappling more than I liked punching and kicking.
Sure.
And I seemed to be a little more natural at it. But nonetheless, I got into MMA. That's the obvious first step into your specialty, which you break off to in the future, which seems to be the most common path that I hear from people. I got into that, which got me into kickboxing. I started kickboxing. I realized I did not like getting hit in the face.
I, too, dislike getting hit in the face.
Not that I can't get hit in the face, right? But I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's
who
stupid.
does?
And
It's
to do it for a
ridiculous.
profession, especially if you're not good at it like I was, I wasn't very good at it. I'm just going to end
Do it as a
up.
hobby. Like, I'm going to, every week I'm going to get my head joggled around.
Right, yeah,
Fuck
no.
that.
I'm just going to end up.
Actually, to be fair, I do prefer being punched in the head as opposed to getting a shin across the dome.
I agree with that. I've
Yeah.
watched plenty of people get knocked out with shins to the face. So
Yeah.
never wanted that to happen to me. But this gym that I was in, it was a small gym in Delavan, Wisconsin. They were known more for Kyukido, and you know what Kyukido is? It's
One of
Cookie dough?
Yeah, I can't believe you also made that joke.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Jeff Kim has been
Okay.
on the podcast before, and
Okay.
his father, his whole family is deeply
Right.
involved in Kyukido.
Well, I never really got into Kyukido. The I guess traditional, not really traditional, Jikundo I was in for a little bit when I was really young, but I really never took any influence from that. So that's why I didn't even bring it up.
Right.
But this gym was known for their Kyukido, but they also had separate mixed martial arts classes, wrestling classes, judo classes, jiu-jitsu classes, which I was always a part of all of them. So I started with a pretty healthy combination of everything.
Right. Sure.
And from there, I just started narrowing it down. And you'd be proud of me. I actually started in no-gi, Javi. But, as I grew and as I experienced more jiu-jitsu, I found different people, different instructors. And then I came across Thiago. The first class I had with him, I was like, oh, my God, I've never been taught by somebody seemingly so good, so knowledgeable, so much attention to detail. And from there, I was sold.
Beautiful.
That was at Ben Rothwell's gym. So I was there for a long time. Got my blue belt. Unfortunately, went through the whole
Blue Belt Blues.
blue belt blues. Disappeared for a little bit, for probably a year and a half. And coincidentally, Thiago actually left and went to California. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I wasn't really friends with Luis yet. I hadn't met him officially. So I'm like, he's gone. I don't want to learn from anyone else. I'm not going back to jiu-jitsu. So I stayed away for a little bit. And then I learned that Juma was teaching at Ben Rothwell's gym in place of Thiago. And this is before, whatever happened between them happened.
Right, before that.
So I was like, hey, that's close enough to LCCT because it is LCCT. And I remember always seeing him with Luis and Thiago. So he's got to be pretty good. Went back. As soon as I went back, he started breaking off from them. I didn't realize that, but I followed him to a different gym. And I realized really fast that I wasn't really growing being with him. And then Thiago contacted me, and he's like, hey, I'm coming back.
Sweet.
Get over here. And I'm like, cool, awesome. So got back into it. For about a year, I was still a blue belt. Then he bumped me up to purple belt. Didn't feel ready, but he's the type of guy that if you don't feel ready, he says, too bad, figure it out.
Right.
And I did pretty quickly. And I really didn't start competing as much as I have, which still isn't that much, until I became a purple belt.
Right.
Which was probably a bad idea. But if there's any way to get the jitters out fast, it's by going with guys who can just beat the crap out of you. The first couple times were really, really nerve-wracking, but I think I got over that pretty fast.
That's good.
And then after a couple of years, he told me I was going to brown belt. And again, if you don't feel like you're ready, who cares? Deal with it. Figure it out. And this whole time I was teaching with him.
Nice.
So not only was I training, competing sometimes, but I was also teaching. So I was getting, I think we talked about this before about like different aspects of jiu-jitsu that you should be focusing on and what different parts allow you to focus on more.
Right.
And the teaching part, like I thought to be really good at jiu-jitsu, you just had to learn from your instructor and train a lot. And then I started teaching and I'm like, holy shit, there's a whole different side of this that you don't even experience or know that's there unless you actually teach.
Right.
Which is, refinement of details. Probably one of the biggest things.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be the guy that the instructor puts into place when he's gone or can't be there for some reason and you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You want everybody to see you the same way they see your instructor. They want to, I guess I want them to look up to me just as much as they would look up to him or trust in me just as much as they would trust in him. And I think because of that and because of him forcing me into these hard situations, it made me grow really fast.
It's good.
And that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Awesome.
Going, what are we, 6 days away from Fight to Win?
Yeah.
I feel stronger than ever.
Great.
I feel super confident. I feel like my timing is on. So
Do you know anything about your opponent?
No.
No? Okay.
No. Somebody did mention to me that he's part of Roll, which I think
Rezovic affiliates.
Rezovic, and I guess they train really hard a lot, is from what I heard. So he's like really explosive, really fast, good at passing. That's not me. I try to be a little more detail oriented, try to use a little more pressure, try to slow people down. Obviously, when I go with certain people, it's a little different because you have to adjust to them.
I don't know what you can possibly talk about.
Javi's got a tricky guard, so I'm always trying to like jump around and get past it somehow. Because if I pressure in, somehow his legs end up in weird spots. And but regardless of that,
don't give away too many details here. Your opponent might be listening.
I feel like I'm the perfect counter to what I've been told his game is.
Okay.
And if his game isn't what I think it is, that's okay. I adjust. That's it. I'm super fucking confident right now.
That's
man.
awesome.
Especially after the training session today. Man.
Now,
Murderous training?
will you take some time off to rest and recuperate, or are you
No.
going to train all the way up to the Fight to Win?
You mean up to the day? Yeah, I'll train probably until the day of weigh-ins. And
Really?
then, yeah.
Oh, wow. No time off.
No time
Well,
off.
I'm going to recommend to him that he not take time off, but like that at least we slow certain things down. as we get
That's a different
closer.
question.
Yeah.
That's a different question.
Yeah.
So
So
I will taper the few days prior. Like my conditioning will dramatically reduce. More quality than quantity. My training will dramatically reduce. Try to be more quality than quantity. Be more detail oriented. Try to flow a little more. Just break a sweat. keep my timing on. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Now, just a little pin in that. So, I train in a lot of different gyms. Tim is actually known within our gyms for a lot of the extra stuff that he does above and beyond. Like in terms of conditioning, you've got kind of your own system worked out for like. I mean, is it yoga? Some of it's based on yoga.
It's like yoga, mobility,
Yeah,
whatever you want to consider
Yeah,
it. I don't have a name for it.
Tim's kind of our guru for a lot of that stuff. So he does a lot of work in terms of not even traditional weightlifting very much, right? It's more body weight stuff and
I was more into the body weight stuff, and it was helping me a lot, especially with my movement. But I started lifting a little bit again. I'm trying not to
feeling that power coming back.
Oh my gosh, man! So I'm not going to name any names, but there are some people that I train with that went from lifting to a higher level of cardio in their training, whether it's biking, swimming, whatever it is. And I kind of switched from that whole body weight to regular weightlifting. I was working with a strength and conditioning team from San Diego, doing everything online and whatnot. And I realized real fast that when they stopped lifting weights and went to cardio, and I started lifting weights and just doing a little bit of conditioning throughout the week, I felt so much stronger, so much faster, and more overpowering. And of course, that's not something that I want to focus on as my main goal when I'm rolling with somebody. I don't just want to overpower them or be stronger than them, but it amplified my technique immensely, immensely. And because of that, I've just been rolling with it. So.
Nice. Beautiful. That's awesome.
Yep.
I got to think about that. I do no strength training whatsoever.
No, you look like you lift a little bit.
I don't.
No?
That's
I
all
lift
pizza.
big guys.
It's all pizza.
Everyone who's bigger than me, that's who I'm lifting up because I play guard.
And everybody except for the people you trade with today are bigger than you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Today's a nice day.
To be fair, I can't give Anthony too much shit though, because like I'm like that too, where most of my strength comes from moving people.
Yeah.
So I don't hit the weights very hard. I do occasionally, but not very often. I really need to start working that into my program. Probably more coming up on some big matches in the near future. So,
Dude, it really helps.
No, I know it from experience.
Yeah.
But so I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but my big issue is the combination of making the time for it, not overdoing it because it does mess with my recovery.
Sure. Because you're like 600 years old.
300, please.
He might be a fucking vampire.
Dude,
I wish I were.
It's possible.
It'd be so much easier on my body. Just take the blood of younger people all the time.
Uh-oh.
There we go. There's the answer. But yeah, so like, I don't enjoy it the way I enjoy jiu-jitsu. I feel like I can more easily overtrain when I'm lifting and doing, regular grappling. And I know it's important, but it's not important enough, I guess, to me, where I make it the priority. Mm-hmm. So like in the back of my mind, like, then that's why I don't give you shit over it either. Like, it's like, if you give me a choice between going to the gym and lifting weights or going to the gym and lifting people, I'm going to pick people.
Right.
I agree with that
time.
100%. 100%.
Right.
But if I had a spare hour or two in my schedule where I would go, okay, now we're lifting, I would definitely do it, and I'd dive in because I used to do it a lot with Tony back in the day
Tony Cicchini.
Tony Cicchini.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
And on that note, where can people find you, man?
They can find me on Instagram at T_Spartan_Martin, or on Facebook at my name, Tim Martin.
And then the Charter Fitness thing, how does that all work? Where is it? It's located in Mundelein.
It's located in Mundelein Charter Fitness.
And they just go there and they can sign up for jiu-jitsu.
Go there, take a free class if you want, sign up if you like it, and hopefully I see a lot of people.
Yeah. And if you're closer to the Barrington location, Tim's there many nights of the week as well.
Yeah, so I'm in Barrington, let's see, Mondays, Wednesdays, sometimes Fridays, not always.
Only on the best Fridays.
Saturdays and most Sundays. And then I'm in Mundelein Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays as well.
Wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, busy schedule.
Well, good luck at your fight to win. I'll be
Thank
there
you, man.
watching you for sure.
Thank you.
And all right, man. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Cool. All right. We'll wrap it up. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Very Hard to Submit. Go to vhtsny.com and check out their kimonos, compression gear, and apparel. This is a brand we are excited to be supported by. Their gear is high quality with a clean design. Go to vhtsny.com and see for yourself. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. For more information about Grappler Union Podcast, you could visit us at our website at grapplerunion.com. You can follow us on Instagram at Grappler Union. Please like us on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes. And all of our episodes are available on our YouTube channel. Say what?
Be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to all that shit. You got to do another take, right?
Oh.